Good to see you, Maureen. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm gonna start this with a big kind of statement. Golden Arms is one of my favorite movies of all time. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I mean,
I'm
I'm a
that.
big wrestling fan, but I just loved it. Was just so funny. Like I just loved how funny it was. And this movie. And when I saw your next film, it was exciting, right? Because it's like I love Golden Arm. I want to see the prank, and this one is funny, but this one's also dark. So I'm wondering, when you were kind of like preparing to go to camera, which kind of elements did you kind of like focus on more? Were you thinking about the comedy? Were you thinking about the kind of thriller component? Like, I'm curious about that.
I mean, I think I always lead with comedy because I think you can play up or down comedy. So I think I'm always like, okay, we want to make sure that it's funny and not losing the comedy because I think it might have been easy if you're doing kind of a thriller
Yeah.
to kind of have the comedy go by the wayside. So I think it was always making sure that we still had that comedy through line. So yeah.
One of the things that was funny but frustrating watching this is, these students at high school, making this decision to do this prank and then keep making more bad decisions, and then it just gets worse and worse, and you're just frustrated as an audience member. I was just wondering if you thought about that. Were you ever conscious of the audience member watching this movie at some points during the shoot, or did that kind of happen afterwards? Because I was a bit stressed, and I didn't trust the school at times too. I was like, the school knows a lot of stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I was doing, and I don't know if I was thinking that, but what I love about it now, and John Kimmel, who's in the movie, pointed this out. He said
Yep.
it's scary for students because you don't know what adults will do to you, but then also adults are scared because kids can ruin your life as well. So it's really much everybody's just kind of afraid of each other.
Absolutely. An amazing cast. I mean, Rita Moreno. I mean, what's there, like, there's so much to say, right?
I mean, I have to pinch myself all the time. Like it doesn't even seem real that she's in the movie.
And there's all these like turning points in this film. Again, I'm walking on eggshells because I really don't want to give much away. I mean, the film, but is it a cool feeling also? Like, the film a couple years ago debuted at South by Southwest. Now more people are going to go see it in the theaters. Is it cool to kind of have this opportunity for more people to have theories and like kind of like, why did this happen or why did this character do that? Because I feel like this movie's about characters in a lot of ways and like their decisions, if you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I like it when you can watch a movie and you can kind of go off on your own tangent. And also kind of that's what the movie's about. It's like, right? Like you start to believe things that maybe aren't even true, or you're making up kind of a story that goes beyond. So
Absolutely.
I like that idea of like setting up something and then not explaining it completely because your mind will go to places that maybe I wasn't even thinking.
From a storytelling perspective, how separate are past projects? Like, do any of them come into play for like future projects? Like, do you take kind of elements from Golden Arm to the prank, like, or are they all really separate?
No, I think I definitely am constantly stealing from myself, or honing something. You're like, I tried it in Golden Arm and it didn't work, or oh, I loved that shot, or I did this. So, and the same thing with actors, like Kate was in Golden Arm and being like, oh, she would play such a great lunch lady. So, kind of recycling and homaging and picking things that I've done. And I do think that's kind of my career, right? It's like I'm kind of a collector. So I collect people and I collect ideas and I keep carrying them along.
Everything in Golden Arm worked. Like, everything worked. Maybe things we didn't see were not in the movie, but everything we saw on screen for that movie worked. I'm just saying. I've interviewed a lot of your cast for
Me
that.
and Betsy are writing a new movie together, so that'll be hopefully the next.
Oh my goodness. I could definitely see more Golden Arm movies. I'm just saying. I don't know. That Mary and Betsy, just that duo was like the best to watch. Um Last quick question. With the prank, getting back to what I was saying about this kind of journey of it having comedy and having the thriller crime component of it, make like before filming and then filming is two separate journeys from a storytelling perspective, bringing all these elements into play. Does it feel like one big journey? Or does it feel like two separate journeys with multiple steps before filming and filming?
It feels like one. I think it was constantly a conversation while we were shooting. You would do a scene, and if it was like playing too much comedy, we're like, let's pull it back. Maybe we play it more thriller, or yeah, we're losing the comedy. So I think it was a constant juggling act of figuring out while we were shooting, is this too funny or is this too thriller? And so
Yeah.
to me, it feels like one story that kind of moved at like an amoeba
Yeah.
together. You know, it would kind of take shape in different
And
scenes.
Amoeba, I love that Amoeba. That's so great. In theaters, March 15th. It's The Prank. Thank you so much for your time. It was so great chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.